Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of Bardic Quest, the show where a group of British trained actors tell fantastical improvised stories through the medium of Dungeons and Dragons. Gentle reminder as always, do leave us a nice review on your podcatcher of choice, and also do hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as well to help us appease the benevolent algorithm gods. Benevolent? I don't know. Are they benevolent? I don't know. We'll go with it. We'll go with it for today. Today, they are benevolent. So, without further ado, and without me waffling much longer, let's get into this week's episode of Bardic Quest. Last time, our heroes, after having freed the family that were being imprisoned by the Redbrands, ventured a look into the Redbrands' armoury to see if they could steal any weapons and armaments for their adventuring, and in the midst of doing so were caught unawares by a group of Redbrands returning towards the cells, and they quickly rushed into the armory, trying to hide away from these Redbrands as they were feeling a little weak from their multiple fights so far that day. But Thorik eventually suggested that the group search for some secret doors by which to make their escape, which luckily for them they did happen to find, which led them back out to the crevasse where they had fought the gruesome eye monster, which led them, of course, to the tunnel which they had found to get them into the hideout in the first place. So they, with them and the family, ventured back out of the hideout and now find themselves in the forest at the bottom of the hill under which the hideout lives. So, you now are outdoors, sunlight hitting you. It's now about lunchtime, thereabouts. The sun is high in the sky. You have the family with you. Is there anything that you would like to do or say?
We're just going to escort them back to town, right?
Run. Get them home.
Jog, run, go.
Is that wise?
Well, they might still be behind us. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
As we're sort of throttling, if the Redbrands have returned from the cave, they may be back in the town. They may be out in force. Is it wise to take them back?
Oh wait, where else are we going to take them? That's where their home is.
What about the farm? We could take them to the farm where that retired adventurer lives. They may be safe there.
Technically, the Redbrands don't know who we are.
They would recognise my face.
One would.
And maybe apart from that, they don't know the rest of us.
True.
Could we pretend that we've caught you?
And you're gonna do what?
I hadn't really thought that far ahead.
No, I mean, taking them to the old adventurers while we scope out the town isn't actually a bad idea, Johann.
I mean, is the whole adventurer gonna be okay with, hi, here's some guests?
I mean,
Worth a try.
if he's not, then we continue on. We wanted to go see
Fine,
them.
we'll do that. We'll do that.
Then we can at least leave them somewhere safe that's, not potentially... Do we think we might be able to rally the town around this? I mean, they've literally taken and enslaved some of their own, killed one of their people. I mean...
We've spinned their numbers somewhat. They might have more of a chance now.
Yeah, if everyone rose up and told them to do one, then maybe we can get them together. But anyway, let's get to this old adventurer's house. What's his name?
Darren.
Darren Edermath, yeah.
Darren.
Orchard, wasn't it? He lived near an
Orchard,
orchard.
Yes. The middle-aged woman, Myrna, she speaks up and she says, "Oh, Darren Edermath, the orchard. Yes, he's on the far side of town from here. He's northwest of here."
Good. She knows the way.
You think that's a good plan, rather than taking you straight back? We don't want to put you straight into danger again.
Well, I think it's probably wise to find out what the situation is with regard to the Redbrands for sure. I'd hate to be recaptured and thrown back in my cell.
I can do a little scout of the town while you head over to the orchard.
Sure.
They don't know who I am.
And you can look like one of them. If you need to.
I'm not feeling up to it. I'm out of spell slots.
Okay, fine. They don't know who you are. That's fine.
Yeah.
Stay out of sight.
We take
Maybe
off the
take
red...
this cape.
Yeah, we take the
the
red band
cape.
cloaks off.
Okay, are you keeping them or are you discarding them?
Probably keep them.
I'll keep mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might come in handy.
Cool. So the question is then, if you're going to go to this orchard, are you going to go around the perimeter of the town or are you going to go through town?
I think round it, otherwise that kind of eliminates the point.
Sure. Okay.
I'll head through town.
Okay.
Yeah, meet with us. Well, it'll take us longer to get around. Maybe meet up with us on the way, on the other side of town, to let us know what the situation is.
Good plan.
Okay. So, you guys are going to skirt around town. Myrna kind of shepherds her son and daughter, and they kind of come with you. And Sergei, you're going to cut across town. So, so first of all, when you're cutting through you're going through the forest, and you come to like some ruined wall, which kind of marks out the edge of town. Proper, and you kind of just hop over a low part of the wall and run through between trees and stuff, and then eventually you come to well, you've got a choice really. You can either head via the nearest road that you can see is the one that leads both up the hill in one direction, and on the other direction at the bottom of the hill is where the Sleeping Giant tap house is. So you can either go that way, or you could head towards Alderleaf Farm, which is where you sang Death of the Bear to Colleen Alderleaf.
Weirdly, I feel safer going the Sleeping Giant way, so I'll go that way.
Okay, sure. So you head towards the Sleeping Giant tap house. Interestingly, there doesn't seem to be anybody on guard there. It seems quite quiet, particularly given that it is lunchtime as well. And you've got the main road which heads towards the market square. Is there anything you'd like to do at this point?
Can I just grab a random villager and just quickly ask her, excuse me, hello?
Hi?
Hello, did you see like a big group of men dressed in red cloaks run through here recently?
How recently? When?
This morning, today?
I wouldn't say that I'd seen a large group. A few people have passed by, but not a large group. Why are you? And suddenly you see her kind of the cogs whir in her head, and she kind of looks at you suspiciously.
No, don't worry, I killed them. Anyway, how many is small, big group? You know?
Groups of 3 or 4 here and there. No sizable group.
Multiple groups of?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Sorry to bother you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Do you like music?
Oh.
I mean, I'm partial to a good song, I suppose.
Would you like to hear a song before I go?
She kind of crosses her arms and looks at you and she says, "Are you expecting me to pay for this song?"
Yes.
She just says, "Good day," and she just walks off.
Well, each to their own. Whatever then. The orchard.
Proud.
Okay. So you move through the market square. As you're headed through the market square and you're headed in that kind of northwesterly direction to where the orchard is, you see there's a few houses and things, and you do see like a little what can only be described as like a small shrine of sorts. It's made of stones, like a circle of stones. Just simple arrangements. It's got a few markings and things upon it. Nothing of major significance, but certainly something that just grabs your attention that perhaps you hadn't noticed before. And then you carry on.
Quickly put 10 copper in there, in the shrine.
Oh, okay.
Next to it.
Nice, yeah, lovely. Nothing particularly happens. You just sits on there,
Yeah.
but a nice offering to the shrine for sure. And then you head back up to again in that northwesterly direction, and make your way towards the orchard. This orchard, you've obviously beaten the other guys there because you're cutting through the middle of town. You can just see an apple orchard with a small house on the side. There are some wheelbarrows and things with apples in them kind of outside the house, just left. But yes, no sign of your comrades yet.
I'll wait around for them.
Okay, sure. So you wait for about 15-20 minutes or so. Are you gonna hide, or are you just gonna stay in the open?
Get a bit of grass, put it in my mouth,
Nice.
pluck some tunes.
Okay. So after about, I'd say about 20 minutes, you see Saga, Thorik, Johann, and the family come over the small hill that the orchard is on top of.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it the Johann? It is a Johann. Hello, Johann. And I guess demonetization.
Greetings. Johann offers awkward greetings. How are things in the town?
Not as expected. There appear to be multiple groups of 3 or 4 Redbrands at a time traversing through. I'm assuming once they got back, they maybe split up and tried to uncover what was going on.
Might be looking for us.
Or a search party, yes.
Well, they're on alert.
Right, so this is Darren's place, is it?
And Myrna goes, "Yes, this is the place."
Right. Well, let's. Now, Sergei, This person is not definitely going to kill us. You are allowed to go and knock on the door. If you would like to.
You know what, Thorik? I'm kind of over the whole knocking on the door now. I just like to open them, you know.
I'm gonna
Saga knocks on the door before Sergei does something.
get out.
Are you?
Wayne,
Yeah.
can I ask what time of year is it?
This is in the depths of winter.
Oh, so the trees aren't blossoming or bearing fruit or anything.
Not really. No.
Fair enough.
No. It's just that all you can see is just a few wheelbarrows of apples on the outside, but the trees otherwise are looking pretty bare.
My mother had an orchard. I say almost under my breath, but like
Your mother had an orchard?
we had a
Oh.
farm. A few trees.
Little Johann running from tree to tree, stabbing apples.
So,
Far from fruit.
That sounds actually quite nice.
What is an orchard?
Rows of trees. But we're in an orchard now, Sergei. Oh,
Pick Sergei up and just point him at the tree.
So there's many trees. Wow.
Just spin him. And then place it down.
So, Saga, after you've knocked on the door, you hear a little bit of a oof, and somebody comes to the door, and man opens it. He looks to be a half-elf with long grey hair. He seems pleasant enough, but you get the sense that you've interrupted his relaxation time. And he says, hello? What
Hi.
can I do for you?
hello. We've just rescued some kidnapped people, and we were wondering if we could house them here. And then I sort of looked to the family. Might recognize them.
And he looks over and says, "Oh my goodness, please come in. And he kind of beckons them in, and you two in. And he kind of marches you in, and you see him look kind of out his doorway and then close his door behind you. You're in a rather tidy-looking cottage. Nice fireplace, nice hearth, some comfortable chairs in there. And he says, "Please sit. Make yourselves at home.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?"
Well, we, as my friend said, we just rescued these people from there's a Redbrand Hideout underneath the mansion in the tunnel
Yes.
system under there.
Yes, I know. Terrible, terrible people. And you've rescued these? The Drendars, huh?
They were being kept prisoner in the cells underneath the manor.
And for what purpose have you rescued these people? Any motives of any kind?
Why we rescued them?
Any motives beyond the obvious?
No.
Because they were trapped and they were going to be sold into slavery.
Good. Cider?
Yes, thank you.
Please,
Yeah.
can I have like 5?
He kind of looks at you.
Just give him one. Just.
See, give him one and see how he goes. He'll get through half it. You know, ice bigger than he's got.
He nods and starts pouring out from a jug some cider, which he gives to everyone. And he sits down. Oh yes.
I don't really drink.
Johann, please, just be polite.
Tiniest of tiny sips. I've got to work today, so.
Right. So, tell me, what did you find in the in the hideout there?
Well, lots of Redbrands. They appear to have made an alliance with the goblins. I think we didn't see them, but they were describing. Do I put two and two together when they were saying big furry goblinoid things and maybe think it might be similar to our friend Clark?
I think it would be a safe assumption.
Cool. Maybe some bugbears. They were saying that the goblins have a hideout to the north. We were trying to catch Glassstaff, the wizards, but we think he might have been dabbling in invisibility, and we think he might have succeeded and slipped through our fingers.
Huh. But otherwise, you've dealt with these Redbrands, have you?
Well,
Not all of them, but yes, we've had some run-ins with them.
Sergei, tell them about what you did in the tavern.
I just, worked my magic and told them to go away, and they went away.
Well, if I may say, about bloody time somebody dealt with these horrible men.
Problem is they've come back, and there's still, as much as we've managed to pick off a few of the number, there's still a fair few, more than we'd like to just, start a, trouble the whole town over. You know what I mean?
Any idea why they've taken residence here?
I think
Seems nothing but extortion to me.
I think it's under Garstaff's orders, perhaps.
They seem like they seem like a bunch of thugs, really, but there is something organized about them. The fact they got back really quickly.
We know they have alliances with local goblins. We know that there are, I think they said, several hideouts. We know where one is, but...
They also seem to be working under this person called the Black Spider.
We can kill Glassstaff and the Black Spider, their will break. This I'm sure.
Any idea on who this Black Spider is?
Not yet.
Did you manage to encounter Glassstaff at least? Or did he escape before you encountered him?
Yes.
A shame. Perhaps he could have given you some answers.
We encountered his pet rat.
Thorik bristles at that comment, and it was just like, yeah, well, it's a bit difficult to see someone that's invisible, so, yeah, we struggled with that a bit.
You're new to this, are you?
Thorik bristles again, it's just like... And just closes his mouth and doesn't say anything.
Have you ever seen Glassstaff?
Me? No. Just
Has he
heard
ever-
whispers of him.
So he's never appeared in the town. He stays in the manor.
Not that I'm aware of. No, as far as I am aware, his gang members do all of the dirty work. So, what's the plan now then? In fact, why are you in town exactly? I don't know your faces.
We brought a cart and things went from there, really.
We're employed by Gundren Rockseeker.
Who's now missing as well.
Ah, so you're
Sildar.
mercenaries, are you?
I guess so.
Of
With
the
morals.
Right, so of the adventuring sort, eh?
Yes, adventurers.
They say the same of you.
Very insightful of you. Yes, I once ventured, much as you do. I'm too old for that sort of thing now.
Really? I'd say I'm older than you and I'm still going.
Well, as I am only half elven, my lifespan does not extend as far as yours, dwarf. So, I suppose, yes, what is your plan now? How do you intend to deal with the situation?
We were hoping you'd have some insight into the matter. At least help these people.
Oh, well, I'm happy to house them for now until things have calmed down and the dust has settled a little. I doubt, given that these fine people have been taken from their homes, that they'll be looking to return there until it's very clear that this Redbrand situation has been nicely sewn up. So, your friend, Rockseeker,
Yes.
and you have no idea where he is now?
No.
Wait,
That's it.
hang on. Didn't
Didn't
one of the
Taken
goblins
by
say?
goblins? Didn't we find
Didn't
it?
say-
Oh, yes.
Didn't they say they took him to the castle?
Yes. So
You
we'll go to the castle.
Do
Then.
you think that's the one to the north? Do you think that's the settlement that might be north of town?
If Glassstaff is not here, it might be a good place to find him.
You hear of any goblins, Darren?
There's plenty of goblins along the Tribor Trail and on the outskirts. I mean, I can't say I've heard of any castles of goblins, that's for sure. But it's certainly possible. There's the Neverwinter Wood to the north is full of all sorts of creatures and less civilized folk. So it's certainly possible. But the Neverwinter Wood is quite a large place. Looking for somewhere that you don't really know precisely where you're going is a fool's errand, I'd say.
Do you know of anyone that knows the area better?
Well, I'd struggle to say exactly. The woods. No, I'm struggling to think of who might know the woods well enough to be able to guide you through. That is tricky. Well, I mean, it stands to reason that if these Redbrands are working with these goblins, that perhaps they, or perhaps even Glassstaff himself, may have information as to where to find them. Most likely, if you go to and find, if you can find Glassstaff, perhaps you will find the answers you seek, or perhaps something within the hideout might reveal something. Who knows?
What is our plan?
I thought we were going to the castle.
Aye, but we don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Glassstaff slipped through our fingers, and may well do again. We have no idea where he's gone. He may have gone to said castle. We can always try sitting on another few Redbrands, seeing if they know more information than your conquest saga.
Let's not start that again.
It's frustrating. I really thought we had him.
It is good that you have saved this family, but if
We
you
will get
really
him.
want to deal with these Redbrands proper, I suspect that this castle that you're seeking might be the answer.
We went back into town and found the shop where we purchased provisions. Perhaps he could give us a map of the area. That way we could find the castle.
I mean, as much as I don't think it's going to have Goblin Castle written on it, that's not a bad idea. We could always use that as a basis so we can at least find our way around.
It's worth a try.
Maybe kill a few Redbrands while they're back to town.
Why not? Be a shame if we didn't get a chance to knock a few heads together.
Yes. Well, I will, of course, help in any way that I can, but again, in terms of locating this castle, that is tricky business.
Darren, to be honest with you, we're doing a lot of things by the seat of our britches at the moment, and we're still not sure of all the details of how many there are. But if things got to a stage where we had them down to a certain amount of numbers, could we count on you to work with us to give them the final heave-ho out of town?
Well, I mean, I'll do what I can, of course. Adventuring is well beyond me now. I come here for a quiet life, wouldn't you know? But yes, of course, if things were looking close enough to a certainty, I'm sure you could count on me.
Right. I mean, with respect, friend, your quiet retirement's not going to be so quiet if you just let this Redbrand scum run amok in it.
No, I agree. I do agree. But unfortunately, until now, we've not really had anybody beyond myself willing to stand up to them, so this is a good change in the tide, for sure.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can do to help at this point?
I
Should
mean,
give him some money.
Money? I'm afraid not, no.
For the family. Food and lodging and such.
Oh, well, of course I can provide them with any such lodgings until such a time that they feel comfortable to return to their home. And then Myrna does pipe up, and she says, "I've been thinking. She says, I know that you said that you wouldn't want any form of reward for rescuing us, but I feel as though all I can do is at least give you some information as to something to say thank you, and then of course you can do with that what you will. If you don't want to obtain anything for rescuing us, I just feel I need to give you something. Again, I don't have anything that I can offer you myself, but when I was a young girl, me and my family fled from the town of Thundertree after the place was overran by vile undead creatures. We had a herb and an alchemy shop. It was a great place for getting up to all sorts of things. But inside the shop we had a case which contained an emerald necklace of sorts, which we'd hidden beneath the storage shelves, and well, it was left behind when we fled, and I've never dared to return to retrieve it. So, I mean, if you want, it might still be there for you to find. I don't know, but it might be of value if you do feel that you'd like some.
Which
reward.
way is Thundertree from here?
It's north from here.
Well,
on
thank
the
you for
on the
sharing
outskirts
that.
of the woods, not along the tribal trail, along the road to Neverwinter. But it's there. If again, that's all I can really offer. But at least it's something.
That is very helpful, thank you. You should get some rest, and I suggest maybe we do the same and gather what information we can find.
And Darren says, "Yes, I think that might be wise. And then perhaps we can see if we can find out what's going on with this castle of sorts."
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Thank you for your aid.
It is my pleasure, and thank you for rescuing my friends.
You're
They owe
welcome.
you a great deal, as do we all. particularly if you've managed to run Glassstaff out of town, but we'll see if he shows up. But it'll be difficult to know, as none of us have ever really seen him, so time will tell. But you have done a great deed here today, and you should be commended. Listen, I wasn't sure whether I should mention this, as you already have a lot on your plate, but I've heard a few stories of late of some prospectors in the hills to the northeast of Phandalin, that somebody's digging around some old ruins. More disturbingly is that several of the prospectors around that area have reported of being, well, I don't really know how else to put this to you guys, but being chased away by the undead creatures that parole the area. Now, granted, it is a couple of days' march out of town to the northeast, but if you happen to have time to venture out of town, I think it would be good to know who's there and what they're up to and why. Just something for you to be aware of, as you are adventurers. It might be worth you looking into.
Well,
but as I say, you have a lot on your plate, so I wouldn't want to intrude on what's important. That's just information that I've heard, and you seem to be the only people here doing the right thing, so...
Thank you. Well, it definitely seems like quite a few things are connected, if only loosely, so... If we get really stuck trying to find this castle, then it might not be a bad look, and we'll certainly put our eyes on it at some point if we can get there.
Which is all we can ask. Right. Well, I won't keep you any longer. You have plenty to look into. But again, thank you for rescuing my friends. It is greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you. Thank you for everything. So, are we heading into town to get a map?
I think so.
A map, a pint, and a rest.
Can we rest in the town?
The tavern, right?
Aye.
The Redbrands in force?
They don't know what you three look like.
And frankly, at this stage, they want to come after us, let them.
Exactly. Let's go.
Very well.
Right, so you finish up your ciders, grab your stuff, and say farewell to Darren, and head into town seeking rest, recuperation, and directions, which I feel is a good place to end this episode. So, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, review, like, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys